Shalom, shalom to the nation of Yasharahla. This is Captain Zakar and Officer Hamad of LZ Augusta, Georgia, and the priest Kahan and Minister Shalomah of the Lot of Zion. Today's video will be about wisdom according to the scriptures, right? The importance of wisdom and what is wisdom according to the Holy Bible. So without further ado, let's get the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17.
Con.
Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the other one Yahawashi, giving thanks to the Most High and the Abba by him.
Now, as anyone who is a constant viewer of our videos, whether you be of LLC Augusta, Georgia watchers or, for Lauderdale watchers, anywhere that LLC is, we always bring this scripture out, right? Because it's extremely important and vital for Israel to remember this scripture. Because as I brought out in previous videos, if you keep this scripture on your mind and the perfect example that Hamashiach Yahawashi gave to the nation of Yasharahla, we won't even be, going off like that. We want to always have to continuously say Salakia for something that we do wrong or say against one another, right? So when we put the Most High first and do everything by Shema Mashiach Yahawashi or in the name of Hamashiach Yahawashi, right? We'll always be on top of what we're doing and what we're saying, and we'll make sure that we're not offending our brother or sister, right?
Right? Even Yahawashi, he said, whatever you need, right, you ask through him in prayer, right, to the Most High, and you shall receive.
That's right. Literally, whatever you ask in his name, it'll be given unto you as long as you have faith, right? You believe what you're praying for, that the Most High will listen to your prayer, right? But you also have to be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, because the Most High is not going to hear you if you're willfully sinning or going off. Now, of course, Christianity will tell you, if you sin, guess what? All you have to do is believe in sweet Jesus, and everything's going to be okay. Your prayers will be heard and answered. But that's not what the Most High said according to the scriptures. All right, so when you do contrary to what the Most High said, and you're willfully living like that, the Most High is not going to hear you. Right? So without further ado, let's get the book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus. Chapter 1, verse.
This book, Ecclesiasticus, verse Sirach, chapter 1, verse 20.
Salakia. All right, go ahead.
The root of wisdom is to fear the Most High.
To fear who?
The Most High.
Because we understand that the Most High has all power, right? You can't say that you have wisdom and you're not fearing the Most High, because the beginning of wisdom is fearing the Most High. And we'll get that as well. We'll continue.
And the branches thereof are long life.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 21. The fear of the Lord driveth away sins.
It does what?
Driveth away sins.
Now, why would the fear of the Most High drive away sins? Think about that. Think about that and read that slowly in your mind. The fear of the Most High driveth away sins. Why would fearing the Most High drive away sins? Because when you live a lawless lifestyle and you don't fear the Most High, you're willfully sinning. You're doing things that are, not beneficial for your life or the well-being of your people. So just how we see our people today. They don't fear the Most High as we should, right? Because when you go to a Christian church, they always tell you, listen, you will be forgiven if you just believe in sweet Jesus, and even if you killed your neighbor or you slept with his wife, etc. Even if you have this habit of doing it, listen to how they say habit. If you have this habit of doing it, just continue to pray, and it's going to be okay. When you know daggone well you're doing it on purpose, you're continuously doing it. You don't even have any intentions at all to stop doing the wickedness that you're doing. Or you're putting on a facade in front of them saying, oh man, I just wish I could stop. But you know that behind closed doors, you're like, come here, sweet baby. Let's do this thing. Right? Trying to holler at this man's wife. And you know she's married. You know she's married. You know that her husband will be upset about the things that you're doing, right? You're destroying your temple on purpose as well. Willfully getting tattoos, willfully smoking, willfully abusing alcohol and drugs, destroying your temple. And the Most High said, what concerning you destroying your temple? He destroyed them that destroyed the temple, right? So when you're not taking care of yourself or you're doing things contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments, you will continue, to not have that favor from the Most High. Your prayers won't be heard, right? And that's where death comes in, because you're willfully sinning, and your punishment will have to come at some point, right? We'll read that again, Baba Kushal.
This is a book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 1, verse 20.
21, so like
So I'm start 21.
Mm-hmm.
The fear of the Lord driveth away sins.
But the fear of the Most High drives away sins, right? Because what is sin? Going against the law, statutes, and commandments. But when you fear the Most High, you're going to continue to do laws, statutes, and commandments. You want to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. You want to keep those things first. You want to keep those things in your mind to do right by your brothers and sisters, right? Continue.
And where it is present, it turneth away wrath.
It turneth away what?
Wrath.
Why would it turn away wrath? Because you're keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. You're literally giving the Most High reason not to be upset with you, right? He won't send evil angels among you to devour or destroy you, or to do any type of harm to you. Because we have to remember the Most High is in control of everything that we see and that we hear or have around us, right?
That's why,
Mm-hmm.
when you're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, it says it's the beginning of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you're moving with wisdom.
Exactly.
Right. If you go up, a couple verses,
Mm-hmm.
Ecclesiastes 1:18, it says the fear of the Lord is a crown of wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
right? Making peace and perfect health to flourish, right? Because it's good for you if you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, right? That's the wiser decision rather than going off in the straight.
Calm.
Right? So it's better to move in wisdom, right, by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments.
Calm, that's right. Let me get 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6, Baba Kushal. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6.
This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord killeth.
He does what?
The Lord killeth
Uh-huh.
and maketh alive.
Mm-hmm.
He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up.
So this is a reason to fear the Most High. Because the Most High, as He is the one who created you and formed you in the belly, the Most High can take you out of this earth at any point in time, right? The Most High Yahawah kills and He makes alive, because He is the one who created your spirit and your soul. He created you. You didn't create yourself, right? Scientists think that they have all the answers. The Big Bang Theory came and then life just formed on Earth. That's not how it happened, right? When you understand that the Most High is the creator of heaven and earth, creator of time and space, all the things that we think of and that we know of, right? The Most High created all these things. It's not something that just happened, a Big Bang just happened and that was it, right? There is a creator.
Evolution.
Right? They're talking about some evolution. People come from monkeys or they come from snails. That doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't.
Right.
It truly doesn't make any sense. When people believe in stuff like that, it's just like, you'll believe in anything. You'll believe that monkeys came from space.
Right.
As long as scientists say that it came from anywhere, that's what they'll believe, right? But we believe in the Most High. We believe in the words that the Most High, told us, all the commandments that He gave unto us, because those things are life. All those things that the Most High gave unto us literally begets life. I'll give an example. Him telling us to be fruitful and multiply, we get life from that.
Right.
Him telling us to grow crops, right? We get life from that. Him telling us not to kill our brothers and sisters, we continue to sustain life that way, but not killing one another, right? So everything that the Most High told us to do, and whenever we do them, we're going to always flourish, and especially in anything that we put our hands to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go back to the book of Barak again. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11, I believe it is. Start at verse 14.
There's a book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Prosperity.
So I can give me 1 second. All right, go ahead.
Book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 14.
Hmm.
Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord,
Come on, food.
of the Lord,
Come on, food.
of the Most High,
This is why we should be fearing the Most High as well,
right?
because you being able to prosper in this life, right? You being able to live in this life, you being poor in this life, right? The riches of this life, all these things come from the Most High. The Torah portion we just went over not too long ago, right? Concerning the brother Yahawah or Joseph. What was going on with him? If you look at his example, the Most High blessed him, right? But the Most High didn't always keep him at a high stature or a high status on the earth when he was in the land of Egypt. Because what happened with Potiphar? His wife lied on him and he went into jail. He went into prison at that time, right? But the Most High still had favor on Joseph, right? He still had favor on him. And then guess what he did again? He literally lifted him back up again, right? The Most High will put you through a lot of trial and tribulation just to test you, right? To bring you back up, to show his power for within you, to write your story so that others can be inspired by it. That's just, think about that. Literally, when you read the story of Joseph, that should be an extremely inspiring story right there, or inspiring account in history of what happened concerning our forefather, one of our forefathers, right? But like I said, life and death are from the Most High. Poverty and riches are from the Most High. Just as the Most High can bring you up, He can also bring you down. Another example is Pharaoh, the Pharaoh that lived after that same Pharaoh that was with Joseph. What happened with that Pharaoh? The Most High raised him up just to do what? Tear him down, right? When you look at the history, or you get the accounts in history, right? You should be very fearful of what the Most High can do to you at any point in time. Because right now you might be prospering in life. You might be prospering in life.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you turn into wickedness, guess what happens? The Most High could take you out. Or the Most High could just bring you low, and now you have to live out your sentence like that. That's scary. That is scary. Imagine having a bounty on your head. You thought you got away with something, and the Most High just put something on you like that. Have people hunting you. That's not a way to live, man.
That's right.
Let's go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 1.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 1,
Start at verse 26.
verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments.
Do what?
Keep the commandments.
If you want wisdom, you have to keep the commandments of the Most High. Because as I said before, keeping the commandments are life. Right? Doing what the Most High said is life. It begets life. Right? Go ahead.
And the Lord shall give her unto thee.
The Most High will give you wisdom once you keep His commandments. If you do what the Most High says, He will bless you in the ways that you need to be blessed. Because of course, people think that a blessing is you getting, $50,000, or you winning the lotto, or you getting all these different things that are worldly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you have wisdom, the Most High will bless you with all kinds of manners of things that you didn't even think that you could have or obtain, right?
I got an example of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can go back to the book of Second Chronicles, chapter 1, right? Because same thing happened with Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
This book of Second Chronicles, chapter 1, verse 8, right? And Solomon said unto the Most High, Thou hast showed great mercy unto David my father,
Mm-hmm.
and has made me to reign in his stead. Now, O Lord, thy power, let thy promise unto David my father be established.
Mm-hmm.
For thou hast made me king over a people like the dust of the earth in multitude. Give me now wisdom and knowledge.
Give him what?
Now wisdom and knowledge,
Uh-huh.
which is Solomon asking for wisdom and knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
that I may go out and come in before this people. For who can judge this thy people that is so great? Verse 11. And the Most High said to Solomon, Because this was in thine heart, and thou hast not asked riches wealth, or honor, nor the life of thine enemies, neither yet hast asked long life, but hast asked wisdom and knowledge for thyself, that thou mayest judge my people over whom I have made thee king. Right, verse 12. Right, so the Most High was like, well, for verse 11, the Most High was like, okay, because you didn't ask for riches, for wealth, you ain't asked for the life of thine enemies. I'm going to give you the wisdom, right, that you asked for, right? Verse 12, wisdom and knowledge is granted unto thee, and I will give thee riches and wealth and honor, right? So the Most High, that's not what he asked for. He didn't ask for the riches, the wealth, and the honor, but the Most High gave it to Solomon, because he asked for that wisdom,
Come on.
right? I'm just finish it off. And such as none of the kings have had that have been before thee, neither shall there any after thee have the like. So, that happened with Solomon. He asked for wisdom, and knowledge. And then, what came with the wisdom and knowledge? Wealth, money, riches, the honors. And, you know, he was blessed with so many things.
Con, speaking of that, because that was a very good scripture and a very great point. Let me get Proverbs 8 and 11. Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 11, Bakusha.
This is book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Slakia, verse 11. For wisdom is better than rubies.
It's better than what?
Rubies.
Uh-huh.
And all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it.
That's right. So that's why Solomon was, asking for wisdom.
Right?
Because with you getting wisdom, the Most High will bless you with so many other things. And who's a prime example of that? Solomon. Right? He didn't ask for all these different things, the riches, didn't ask for all the abundance of life, etc., the life of his enemies. He just asked for wisdom. And the Most High gave him wisdom, and he gave him many things just as a blessing for him asking for wisdom. Right? When you ask for wisdom, the Most High will bless you in so many ways, man. Wisdom is not something to be taken lightly, because a fool despises wisdom. But a righteous man, a man who seeks wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, he'll always be blessed. He'll always do very well in his life, right?
You have to be keeping the commandments also.
God, you have to be keeping the commandments. Read verse 13, Baba Kusha.
Verse 13. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
The fear of the Lord is to hate evil.
It's to hate what?
Is to hate evil.
It is wise to hate evil. Because when you love evil, now you're not having fear in the Most High. Because the Most High says he's going to destroy the wicked, the evildoers. Right? So the fear of the Most High is to hate evil. You want to be righteous. You want to do good. Right? Go ahead.
Pride and arrogancy
Mm-hmm.
and the evil way
Mm-hmm.
and the forward mouth
Mm-hmm.
do I hate.
These things we should hate. Right? You shouldn't be looking to be prideful and arrogant. Right? You shouldn't be looking to do the evil things of this world, to partake in those evil things of this world. You should always want to be set apart and different. Right? Because we are a holy nation unto the Most High. As being a holy nation, the Most High made sure that we knew what good was. And what was that good? Keeping the commandments.
Right.
Doing what he said to do. When we put those things first, what's going to happen? We'll be back on top as a nation. We'll be out of this place. We'll be out of the captivities, the land of our captivity, Salaki. Right? We'll be out of this captivity, this land right here, Babylon the Great. Right? There's always new information every single day about wrongdoings to our people. Every single day. And we see it, the constant oppression, even in our daily lives. There's certain things that we can't do that the so-called white man can do, or these other nations can do. Right? So when you put the fear of the Most High, or it's like when you fear the Most High, and you hate evil, and you love all things that are good, keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, abiding by the laws of the Most High, having the faith in the Mashiach Yahawashi, He will bless you. You got to also pray for wisdom. You have to want wisdom. You have to seek wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You have to hold on to wisdom, right? Because the Most High, or it's like the scriptures, call wisdom, or compares wisdom to being a woman, right? Think about wisdom as a beautiful, delicate woman. Say you're a man, right? And you have a woman, for example, just putting the two together. You wouldn't want anybody, touching your woman, or you wouldn't want to leave your woman like that. You want to love your woman and take care of her, right? You want to be with your woman. Think of wisdom in that way. How would you nurture wisdom? Think about that. How do you nurture the wisdom that you have? By continuing to pray for more, continue to study, continue to do the will of the Most High. That's how you nurture the wisdom that you have already. That's how you take care of the wisdom you have already. By building it up, by wanting more, right? Turn to verse 16, Slaki.
Verse 16. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 16.
This is going on by wisdom again. Go ahead.
By me, princes rule, and nobles,
Nobles.
and even all the judges of the earth.
See, who was a judge of the earth or a king of the earth? Think about that. Solomon, right? He was ruling because the Most High allowed him to rule. Right? The Most High already had him in that position before he was even born to be the next ruler over Israel. But with that wisdom that he asked for, the Most High blessed him even more. Think about that. The Most High blessed him even more. He was already a king, right? And the Most High gave him more than he can even know or even want. Think about how beautiful that is, just for asking for wisdom, just by asking for wisdom, right? So by princes, I'm just like by me, meaning by wisdom, princes rule and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. They all rule because of wisdom, right? So let me get actually it's like go down to verse 19.
Verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs chapter 8, verse 19.
Come on.
My fruit is better than gold.
Read that again.
My fruit is better than gold. Yea, than fine gold. And my revenue than choice silver.
So when you think about fruit, what does fruit do? Or where does fruit come from? A seed, right? So let's see that, your prayer was that seed that's going to be grown. Because the Most High is going to give you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He's going to give you wisdom. How do you let that seed grow? But like I said, you have to continue to read and study. Be diligent in this truth and in this work. Loving your people. Right? The Most High will continue to allow your wisdom to grow throughout the years. As long as your faith continues to grow, your wisdom will continue to grow. Right? Your obedience continues to grow, your wisdom will continue to grow if you keep praying for it. Right? So the fruit of that wisdom is better than gold. Because with that wisdom, you're now able to do what? Be in a high status on the earth. Be in a higher place than you were before. Right? The Most High will bless you with the things that you need, your essentials. Right? He'll show favor to you in the sight of all your enemies as well. Right? Verse 20.
Verse 20. Blessed book of Proverbs chapter 8, verse 20. I lead in the way of righteousness, in the midst of the paths of judgment, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance.
Inherit what?
Substance.
See, what is substance? What is substance usually? Goods of the land, riches, favor. All right. So with you having wisdom, you will inherit substance. Right? You inherit things that are essential for life. Right? Go ahead.
And I will fill their treasures.
Because you'll have an abundance of things that you needed and didn't even think that you needed. Things that you didn't even want like that you didn't desire like that. But the Most High will add them to you. Like silver and gold, for example. Go ahead.
The Most High possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old.
Because wisdom has always been there. The Most High created wisdom, and wisdom has always been there. Right? Think about that. Wisdom has always been there since the very beginning. Let me get Proverbs chapter 1, verse 5.
Here's the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 5.
So go ahead.
A wise man will hear.
Will do what?
A wise man will hear and will increase learning.
So a wise person or a wise man will do what? He will increase in learning when he hears something. He's not going to just let it go over his head. Right? He's not going to try to not study what he's listening to. Right? He will hear and increase in learning. He'll seek out the knowledge that he needs to know. Right? Go ahead.
And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel.
Because that's a wise move right there. To attain unto wise counsels. Right? You don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. So what do? You attend to wise counsels. To people who have been in the situations that you might be currently going into, or that you might currently be in, right? Hearing their side of things and how they got out of it. That's a wise thing to do. You don't just, try to muddle through it. You don't think that you have all the answers. You don't think that you have all the ways out of the situation, right? You're supposed to go to the elders, and you do what? You attend to what they have to say, right? You listen to what they have to say, and guess what? They'll give you the wisdom that they have. They'll most I will, and they'll show you a way out of the situation or predicament that you're in, right? Go ahead.
And a man of understanding shall attain into wise counsels,
Mm-hmm.
to understand a proverb
Mm-hmm.
and the interpretation,
Mm-hmm.
the words of the wise and their dark sayings.
Uh-huh.
Verse 7. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge.
Read that again.
The fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge.
Fearing the Most High is literally the beginning of knowledge. Because now you know, all right, there's a higher power. I should know that He created me and He can take me out of here. That's knowledge right there. That's you knowing that the Most High can just take you out, right? Is the beginning of knowledge. And to fear Him, I gotta keep His commandments because I know He'll kill me. I gotta keep His commandments because I know something could happen to me or happen to loved ones, etc. Right? That right there is the beginning of knowledge, and then that knowledge will grow. Right? Go ahead.
But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
They despise wisdom and instruction. It's kind of funny when you think about the word instruction, right? In general, because the law, statutes, and commandments are instructions.
That's right.
A fool will not want to adhere to the wisdom of the Most High. They wouldn't want to adhere to the wisdom of the aged, meaning your elders. They don't want to attend to the law, statutes, and commandments because their instructions there's it's something that is telling them to do something that they don't want to do. For example, if you need a job, they'll say, "I need a job, right? I got to keep my job, so I got to continue to shave my beard. I got to continue you know, uh, to get my tattoos, because the more tattoos I get, and I let anybody, work on my body, that's the more money I can get, no matter how bad it looks. You're not even caring about your temple. You're not even caring about yourself like that. You're putting the things of this world above what the Most High set forth in front of you. Like I said, when you have wisdom, the Most High will bless you in abundance. You keep the law, statutes, and commandments, though. But a fool will despise wisdom and instruction. He'll despise the law, statutes, and commandments, and he'll think that he got it all on his own, which is a foolish thought. Because it's not impossible for the Most High to raise up a fool just to tear him down. It happens. We see it daily, every single day. Right? The Most High can raise up anybody that He wants. He'll raise them up just to have them put to death or to be torn down in front of all their enemies.
That's right.
Think about how scary that is right there as well. Right? So you don't want to be in that predicament. Jump into verse 20.
Verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20.
It's like, yeah, go ahead.
Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
She crieth in the chief place of concourse,
Mm-hmm.
in the openings of the gates.
Mm-hmm.
In the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones,
You what?
ye simple ones,
Uh-huh.
will ye love simplicity?
How long will you simple ones love simplicity? Excuse me. We bring this out to our people at camp a lot. How long will you love simplicity, you simple ones? Because our people have this ideology that we're all quote unquote American, or we're all Bolivian, we're all Ukrainians, Australians. We're completely different people from Edomites, from Moabites, Ammonites, right? From all these other nations. We're completely different. They're different from us, and we're different from them. It's a simple thought, right? It's to think that all because we have blood in our veins, we're all the same. That's not even correct. Think about that, because we can jump higher than them, sing better than them, do things better than them, because the Most High said we're special people unto Him, and they'll look you in the face and say, "So that's extremely simple. You don't even think about who you are. You're an Israelite. Yet you still call yourself black.
Right.
You're still calling yourself black, and your skin's not even black. If anything, you'd be brown, and you're calling yourself black." This is why we'll also ask our people out on the streets, I have a question for you, right? This example, we'll say, well, I have a question for you. Where do you see black on the map? Can you find the land of black? And they'll look at you and say, no. We'll say, exactly. So what is your ethnicity? And they still can't give you an answer. The only answer they can give you is African American, Negro, Hispanic. They give you Dominican, all these different names that are bywords, and they don't even try to seek out the knowledge of who they used to be before slavery.
They
That's all.
don't care.
Exactly. They don't care. They're simple minded, right? So go ahead, continue that.
How long, ye simple ones? This break of Proverbs chapter 1, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
Mm-hmm.
And the scorners delight in their scorning,
Mm-hmm.
and the fools hate
Fools
knowledge.
say what?
And the fools hate knowledge.
Fools hate knowledge. Sad to say, but our people are a lot of fools. There are a lot of fools out there within our people who'll say, I don't care who we used to be. I know who I am today and I'm getting this bread.
Right.
That's when our women will say, I don't care. I don't care nothing about our history. All I know is I need to get this Chanel bag. I need to get these pumps. I need to get the things that I want right now. I don't care nothing about that. Because their mindset is still on Babylon continuing. They think that America is the greatest country still. They're not even seeing the decline of America. They're not even seeing the downfall of this place. They're not seeing, the or hearing or even paying attention to the wars and rumors of wars around us, surrounded around this place in particular. About how literally just recently today, it's every single day now. When I say every single day, I'm not even exaggerating. Russia's talking about having a missile, or China's talking about having another missile, or EMPs, etc. It's always information coming out concerning this place being destroyed. And our people are just sitting there simple minded as thinking like, this place is gonna continue. I don't care what y'all gotta say.
That's just, I also consider that prideful too. They get a little bit of freedom, and they just run with it, right? They don't care about their heritage anymore. They don't care about nothing. They care about what's going on right now.
That is the problem.
It's just the pridefulness of that, of the little bit of freedom they get. Right? They get some money, they get cars, and that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. They're
Con,
not looking to fear the Most High. They're not looking for commandments. And that's why destruction come before pride.
destruction comes before pride.
Right.
Go ahead.
All right. Verse 23. Book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 23. Turn you at my reproof.
Oh, it's like my bad. Ecclesiastes 9:14.
You say Ecclesiastes.
Mm-hmm.
This book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 14. There was a little, there was a little city.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little city, and few men within it.
Mm-hmm.
And there came a great king against it, and besieged it, and built great bulwarks against it.
Mm-hmm.
Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he, by his wisdom, delivered the city.
By his what?
By his wisdom, delivered the city.
Uh-huh.
Yet no man remembered that same poor man.
This happens very often, right? Actually, I'll get into the analogy afterwards. Go ahead. 16.
Verse 16. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength.
He said what?
Wisdom is better than strength.
Why? I was like, go ahead.
Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised.
Is what?
Is despised.
Uh-huh.
And his words are not heard.
Doesn't this sound very familiar? Right? The prophets of old did what? They taught our people constantly, or they told us, like our people constantly, that there's going to be destruction to this land, or if you don't repent, the Most High is going to destroy this land or send enemies against this land, etc. And our people, once they heard the prophets, right? There were times when our people would adhere, right? We would listen, and then we go right back into sinning, forgetting about what these prophets told us, constantly forgetting. There were times when they just didn't even listen to what the prophet said. And guess what? Destruction came. In the same way, you see our people right now. It's like the wisdom that these people are bringing out, or that our people are bringing out. The prophets are letting our people know that there's destruction coming to America, and our people are like, so we've seen people walk up to us and say, "Yeah, I acknowledge what you guys are doing. So I have respect for what y'all are doing. Keep it up. Now I believe in it, but I'm not gonna get on. I'm not gonna get down with it. But I believe it." You know how stupid that sounds? You know how
Right.
simple that sounds?
We had somebody say it to us the other day. They was like,
Hmm.
I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I do respect what y'all doing. I agree with y'all, but I'm not the one.
That's literally what he said. It's the fact that we can have a conversation with our people. They can be blunt, honest about that, right? Yeah, I respect what y'all are doing, but I'm not the one. Like I'm not about that. Like really, you're not about life and living. See,
You don't understand because if you did understand, you would have been fearing the Most High.
exactly. He would have been fearing the Most High.
And I got a precept for what you just put up also.
Hmm.
This book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 19. Wisdom strengthened the wise more than wisdom strengthened the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city.
Hmm.
So wisdom, its strength is the wise more than 10 mighty men. That's why I said wisdom is better than strength.
That's right. Calm wisdom is definitely better than strength.
You know, moving with wisdom in the last days, you're gonna be relying on wisdom heavily.
Calm,
You're gonna be, wisdom is gonna come in clutch for you.
because the scriptures say that wisdom shall be the stability of our times. Wisdom,
Mm,
knowledge, and understanding, man.
right? Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Us knowing our heritage, us coming back to the Most High and having faith in Him in that day, you know, what's that willing that'll be our ultimate our ticket to us being delivered, of course. Remembering what we were taught and applying it.
Right.
Right? Let me get Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 1. Baba Kashaf.
There's a book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom, wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily,
Mm-hmm.
and sweetly doth she order all things.
Uh-huh.
I loved her,
He did what?
I loved her,
He loved wisdom. Go ahead.
and sought her out from my youth.
And this is how we should be today, seeking wisdom out from our youth. Right? I remember being young in this truth, just wanted to know more and more and more, praying for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, praying for a mind of discernment. That way I don't go off, right? That's how we should be from our youth, praying for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, seeking her, you know, holding on to wisdom. Go ahead.
I desired to make her my spouse,
Uh huh.
and I was a lover of her beauty.
He loved wisdom. The beauty of wisdom. When you think about wisdom, you should always think about the fact that wisdom is very much so strength. Wisdom is strength, strength of the mind, right?
Right?
Having that understanding of what's going to happen and having a calm spirit, knowing what's going to happen, that's everything right there. I'll give you an example. Look at Judas Maccabees, right? Our people were outnumbered during that time, outnumbered by Antiochus and our enemies. But when you read about Judas Maccabees, he didn't seem scared or nervous. All right, he didn't seem scared or nervous at all. He seemed all right. Let's get it. Let's get it. We about to get it, y'all. He had faith in the Most High. He had faith, and the Most High did what? Delivered our enemies into his hands. All right. When you have that wisdom, you have the fruits of the Spirit on you. Right. You have to pray for the fruits of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, meekness, temperance. Right. You're thinking about all these things. You're not even that you're thinking about them, but they're all applied in you, and you don't even know it like that. You know, you have so much temperance for your people, or you have so much patience for the fall of your enemy. Right. All these things come from wisdom. You have to pray for wisdom, and wisdom will give all these things to you. And guess what? Once you have that wisdom, like I said, the Most High will bless you. Right? Go ahead.
And
Verse 3.
if you think about it,
Mm-hmm.
like for example, the fruits of the spirits, wisdom, wisdom and understanding and knowledge. It's what actually, for example, patience, right? If you don't have that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, what are you being patient for?
Bring it out.
You won't know what you're being patient for. You won't know that you're supposed to be loving your brothers and your sisters. That's in the truth, right? Or that's your so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American brothers. Now you wouldn't be understanding none of this stuff without that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So
Calm.
when you get that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and that's why it says at the beginning, of fearing the Most High, because you're starting to understand this stuff, and then it stretches out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it is, right? Um, wisdom, wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8. Where did I leave off?
Verse 3.
Verse 3. In that she is
Conserve.
conservant, conversant with
Conversing.
the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
She magnifieth her nobility.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, the Most High of all things himself loved her.
The Most High loves wisdom, right? The Most High himself loves wisdom. Loves wisdom. Because, like I said, wisdom was there in the very beginning with the Most High. The Most High created her, and he just, the world was made by that. Think about that. Wisdom. You have to be extremely wise to create the lilies, to create the bee, to go for the honey, to pollinate all the flowers, right? You have to be extremely wise to make the seed grow into a tree, right? A cedar in Lebanon, to make the grass grow, to make the sky blue, to make the water, the oceans, not even be able to mingle with each other, right?
Right? It's like everything having a purpose.
Exactly, because everything has a purpose.
Making the grass green. It's for a reason. We don't know why, but
See, we all those things was how we understand the kingdom, but
right.
right now we just there's certain things we don't understand yet. And there are things that we do understand, but we're limited on our understanding. But once we have that wisdom and you pray for it, we will always continue to learn more and grow. Right? Drop down to verse 7, Baba Kasha.
Verse 7. Wisdom of Solomon to the 8, verse 7. And
Mm-hmm.
if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues, for she teacheth temperance and prudence and justice and fortitude,
Mm-hmm.
which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life.
That's right. She teaches temperance and prudence. What didn't I just name temperance as one of the fruits of the spirit?
Right.
Wisdom will teach you these things. And you having these things, you'll better your life. Your life will be better. Right? Because when you have a short temper with your people, guess what's a lie or something that's liable to happen? You'll end up cussing your neighbor out. Smacking your sister in the throat or in the face. You start doing all these different things out of anger, right? You shouldn't be doing those things. You should have temperance for your people, right? When you're on the street corners, we don't go looking for fights or anything like that. We're looking to wake up Jacob. We're looking to seek, those who want to learn the law, statutes, and commandments to come back to the Most High. And for those that don't want to do that, we have temperance with them. We try to edify them, but if need be, through the Spirit, we'll cut them up with the scriptures, right? The last resort, if need be. They try to force our hand or they put their hands on us, we'll defend ourselves. That's it, right? But we don't go out looking for fights like that or anything like that. Because in order to even do this work, you have to have the fruits of the Spirit. Like I said, love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, temperance, all these things, right? All have to be applied to you and have to be in you. And that's also how you don't fall out of the truth, by the way. Having those things right there, because you'll understand that even if this is not the year that we get out of here, you still have to do the job of the Most High. Even if this is not the year that we get out of here, you still got to love your enemies within our people, of course. And even if this is not the year that we get out of here, you'll have to understand and realize that, it's on the Most High's time. We have to wait for that number to be sealed. We have to wait for our people to continue to wake up. Be patient. Don't lose faith and don't lose patience. Because in losing faith and patience, now you're going off. Because then you start doing things that you used to do when you were in the world. Because you lost faith now. You're like, at this point, he's not coming. I changed my life for no reason. I see no point in continuing this. When you have that mentality, now you have death on you. You don't even realize it. Because the scriptures say what? It'd be better if you hadn't even came into the truth rather than falling out of the truth. Because now you're 10 times worse than what you were before you even got into the truth. right? So you have all these, like I said, all these attributes within you, the fruits of the spirit. You that's what ultimately determines if or shows that growth that you've had after obtaining wisdom, right? After your prayers for wisdom and that prayer for change to do better, right? In the sight of the Most High, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Because, like I said, when you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and you pray, you will be heard. When you're not doing those things, you will not be heard, right? You're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you will not be heard. And the fruit of the Spirit, believe it or not, will not be in you. Anything you want to bring out?
Called this book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times,
Mm-hmm.
and strength of salvation.
That's right. And strength of salvation. Because we understand that we're in a time where there's a lot of stuff being revealed that are going to be revealed concerning Esau, concerning the things that they've been doing, the history behind what's been going on over here, right? Like there's a lot of hidden history about things that's been going on over here, by the way, right? I forgot what this lake is called, but it's over here in Georgia, where man, Esau is the devil, man.
That's right.
A whole town of our people was just they put a whole bunch of water in there, right? The town, if I remember correctly, it was like down in the ground. I don't remember how to explain that, but it's like you would have to like walk or drive down into it. Filled it up with water, the whole entire town, flooded the whole thing. So many lives lost of our people. So many lives lost, man. And they have no care at the fact that they just took all those lives, all of our people, all those people that were down there of our people. And they try to hide the history, but it's all coming out. So many things like that in the United States. The wickedness of Esau is the exact same reason why he has to be obliterated from off the face of the earth. Because they have no care or remorse for any human life, any life in general. That goes for the trees, the plants, right? Because what happens when they kill all the trees? If they take all the trees down, because that produces the oxygen, right? What do they kill all the plants? Any life that consists of creating oxygen and taking out the hydrogen in the air. What if they take all these things out? What will happen then? Will he be satisfied when all life on Earth is dead? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Because then at that point, the only thing that will be surviving is anything that breathes it's not like oxygen, but hydrogen. At that point, all right, or nothing at all. It's like they just want everything to be done away with. What if the Most High didn't already have it written out that the United States would be obliterated before they could do anything to any of these other nations? You know what I believe the U.S. would have done? If the U.S. had the option and the opportunity to destroy everything that wasn't the United States, they would. I'll be honest with you.
Right.
That's how I feel Esau is, right? But all praises to the Most High for being a just and true power to let us know that this place is going to be destroyed. All these other lands, these other nations, they're going to live to go into captivity for 1,000 years,
That's right.
right? They have to go into captivity, and then the rest of Esau, right? It's over in Russia, Ukraine, Europe, these other places, right, on the earth. After their 1,000 year captivity, they're done. It's over. Finito. There will be no more of the house of Esau. For the Most High has spoken it. That's Obadiah, right? There will be none remaining of them. All praises be unto the Most High. Because
That's right.
if they were to rebuild again and to have become a superpower again, what would they do? Cause destruction again. Because they are the devil, right? They're the deceiver and they're Satan as well. They're our adversary and they are the deceivers upon the earth. That's all they do. Steal, kill, and destroy. Right? So we have to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High. Like I said, keeping His word, allowing us to know that there will be there will be no upliftment of Esau and these other nations after we rule in the kingdom of heaven. Right? Because that's just how just the Most High is. Whatever the Most High says He's going to do, He's going to do, and He's going to keep His word. Right? And with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And until next time, Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.